Commissioner, got your name? Commissioner Schofer, Stephen Schofer, I'm sorry, Stephen. And then Alderman Feldmeyer, y'all come down and get your picture with this. But at this, and we appreciate you. Volunteers are the heart of a community, and y'all shown that. Community's not going to do anything unless a volunteer comes about. So it's a little bit of money in here for y'all, and a note, and every time we have some more volunteers to do, we expect to see you here.
Spend it on your campaign.
I'll gladly come.
All right, let's take a picture here, and then I'll let y'all take.
All right, ready?
You got it? All right. I'll step out, and y'all two can get on one on the side and one on the other side. That'd be good. That's awesome. All right. Thank y'all very much. Appreciate it. Yes.
I plan on doing that again.
Okay, good. That'd be great.
So we're gonna do it again.
That'd be good.
You need more money, Chauffeur?
Always take it.
All right. Also, this is citizen recognition. Now, William Austin, an outstanding citizen that goes above and beyond. He's also a volunteer. He has a heart for the community. He is out cleaning up the town when no one is with him or watching.
Come on up.
He consistently asks how he can help. And he don't want anybody to give him any honors and glory, but he just wants to help. Right over here, Mr. Bill. And he refaced the two small welcome signs of Atoka that you see on both ends of the county, of Atoka, excuse me. Mr. Austin, Mr. Bill, thanks for what you do. And we recognize and appreciate all that you do in the town. And I know this is just a small token of what we're going to give you here this time. And I'll read just a little bit more about Mr. Bill. He's been a great citizen, has volunteered many times for our town over the years. And as the Parks and Rec Director said, she is very grateful for his assistance in many things. He is a team player and a great set of extra eyes and ears at the parks. In other words, she keeps you straight. He at times sees things that we may miss, and rather than just tell us to fix it, he will offer to lend a hand to help repair. We are truly grateful to have you as part of our town, Mr. Bill. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right.
Sir, can we donate the money back to the town?
You can do what? It's your money, whatever you want to do. Well, that's awesome. All right. If this, Mr. Greg Plump, why don't you come up here a minute? Let me say this. This is just not a one-time thing that these people have done. It's over and over years that we've seen this. And we started this program last year and trying to recognize people. Just a small token. Like I said, volunteers are the heart of the community. And instead of fussing and griping, they volunteer. They do the things that it takes. And then they tell us what we need to do and try to help us fix that. Greg Plump goes above and beyond. He volunteers for all events to take photographs for no charge to the town. Even tonight, he was under the impression that he was needed to take Thank you so very much. We recognize and appreciate all that you do, Greg, and we really do, and we appreciate you for being a part of it. All right. I'll do that last. Employee recognitions for the town. J.R. Strickland, you'll come up. It's 15 years of service for the police department. Wesley Yarborough, if you'll come up. He's 10 years of service in public works. Christy Doty, 10 years of service, police department, and, well, with the town of Atoka in several capacities, I think. Y'all line up over here. And this is a time that we give for 15 years, 10 years, and 5 years, and so on. And they have served the town, been with the town this long, and we really appreciate your service. Perseverance is what I see with these people and in law enforcement and public works and all that they do in these departments. One thing I can tell you, in our society today, people love to move around, do the things and move, but it's perseverance in a place and dedicated to the place that you're in, and they're dedicated to something or someone bigger than themselves, and they love to show that, and they do that for us. Now, Chief, do y'all want to say anything or do anything?
Well, all I can say, I can speak since February, that I know that the two that come from my department are outstanding workers. And it's no surprise to me that they've been here 10 and 15 years respectively, because there's not much that will keep them at home. There's no doubt about it. Especially, I mentioned JR right off the bat. You all know he had a recent on-duty car crash. He was back within 24 hours. You know, that's just kind of the fortitude that he has, and I'm extremely appreciative of it.
I can say the same for Wesley. Anytime I need anything, you know, past year, anytime I need anything, he's been right there to help me out no matter what. He's a huge asset to the town, and we love to have him along with that.
Thank you. Y'all say anything about Christy, or she just runs the show?
Christy, Kristen, you know, she's our court clerk, so she keeps me straight. There's a lot of issues when it comes to that court, doing that court clerk with fines and everything else, that there's a lot of guidelines, a lot of straight and narrows, and she's got to keep me on it, and she definitely does that. She keeps me out of the hot water, without a doubt. And again, there every day, she even tries to keep me on a lighter, healthier approach to lunches too. So, for all that, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Wesley. Appreciate it, Wesley. Y'all get in here close.
Thank you.
Or you can get your picture. Appreciate what you do. Thank y'all. Words can't express the things that they do. And I just appreciate them to be part of the town, and I'm honored to be able to work with them and be a part of it with them. As you know, this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month for domestic violence. We have a display out front that we've had all month. And I'm going to read this proclamation, and Ms. Mary Ann, if you want to come up, you're the one that stayed on us about this, I think. It's right here with us, all right? Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Tennessee has remained in the top 10 for domestic homicide since 2001. Tennessee reported 90 victims murdered by an inmate partner in 2020. Whereas 69,385 incidents of domestic violence were reported in Tennessee, 57% of domestic violent cases were cleared by arrest or by exceptional means in 2020. And whereas females accounted for 49,636, or 71.5% of all domestic victims. Males accounted for 19,689, or 28.4% of all domestic violence. And children accounted for 6,755, or 9.7% of all domestic violence victims in Tennessee in 2020. Whereas the survivors of domestic violence should have help to find the compassion, comfort, and healing they need, and domestic abusers should be held fully accountable for their crimes against persons in the community. And whereas our community has a civic, moral obligation to work to prevent domestic violence, to address its brutal, destructive effects, and to make ending domestic violence a community priority. Now, therefore, in recognition of the important work being done by our community to prevent domestic violence, and people like Mary Ann and others and the law enforcement and all to help us, our support survivors of domestic violence and hold perpetrators of such violence accountable for their crimes against the community. I, W. Darrell Walker, Mayor of the town of Atoka, Tennessee, do hereby proclaim the month of October 21st to be Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In the town of Atoka, call all our citizens of Atoka to become aware of this destructive force in our society and to become part of the efforts to build safe, stable, nurturing relationships and families. And as a former principal at Mumford High School for 10 years and in education for 44, it's for real, people. And we need to be aware, and we need to help. We need to, when you see those things, report it and do the things that we need to do for that. Mary Ann, I know you have a few words to say.
He knows me well.
Just a few. You got about a minute.
Just a few. The reason I ask for these proclamations, because it gives me an opportunity to stand in front of you and remind you that domestic violence is very real. And I'm sad to say that in the 25th District, Tipton County has the highest cases of domestic violence. And so one of the things I always want to do is stand in front of you all, but then also the board, so that the ones who talk to the citizens the most, so that you know who the resources are in our community. And so Memphis Area Legal Services has an office in Tipton County. They help provide legal services to women who need it, and helps in transitioning out of that horrible life. And then RAP is an agency that covers every West Tennessee county excluding Shelby, because they have their own. RAP helps with resources from shelters to counseling and everything at no charge to the victim. And so, and I work for Marcy's Law. I spend all of my time, you all, just advocating for victims. And so we're trying to fight for equal and enforceable rights for victims. And so this is just a reminder that in your community, it doesn't just happen on the north side of town, it also happens on the south side of town. And we need you to not forget about that.
Thank you.
A minute and a half.
Hey, no, I think it's... Thank you. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Mayor.
what you do. Donnie Phillips. Y'all want to come up, Donnie, and stand here in both of the office for a fireman. Donnie is a new addition to the town, and we're fixing to swear him in, as we do everyone that comes to be a public servant here. All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, raise your right hand.
Okay.
I state your name,
Donnie Phillips,
do hereby pledge
do hereby pledge
that I will support and uphold the Constitution,
that I will support and uphold the Constitution,
the laws of the state of Tennessee,
the laws of the state of Tennessee,
and the laws and ordinance of the town of Atoka.
and the laws and the ordinance of the town of Atoka.
As a firefighter,
As a firefighter,
I further pledge to protect and safeguard the lives.
I,
As a firefighter,
as a firefighter,
I
yes,
further pledge to protect and safeguard the lives and property of the citizens of Atoka
and the property of the citizens of Atoka,
to the best of my
to
ability.
the best of my abilities.
I pledge service over self,
I pledge service over self,
to work ethically,
to work ethically,
with integrity,
with integrity,
with honesty,
honesty,
and impartiality.
and impartiality.
I recognize with this badge
I recognize with this badge
the symbol of my position
the symbol of my position
and the public faith and trust
and the public faith and trust
placed upon me,
placed upon me.
that I will never tarnish it.
I will never tarnish it.
And I accept this badge in the proud tradition
And I accept this badge in the proud tradition
and honorable service
and honorable service
that go with it and that are placed upon me
that go with that and is placed upon me
as a Atoka Fire Department.
as a Atoka Fire Department.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Chief.
Donnie, real quick.
You gotta sit right here, stand right here, all right? We're gonna take a picture.
I got it.
All right, Greg?
Good, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. You know, it took time, but that's very vital for us to know and to do and know that people are working unselfishly and to help in our community in a lot of ways for us. All right, moving on. Ordinance and resolution. First, consideration of the municipal regional zoning map, Exhibit E. We have to do this because, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Administrator, is that we put in a new subdivision on Harris Road.
Yeah, and so the zoning revisions were previously adopted. The map has been approved but not officially adopted. And really, it largely reflects some of, at least one of the recent properties that was annexed into the city, and that was the one there on Harris Road in Atoka, Idaho. So it's really just adopting the map so it becomes official. It was here on the easel. I think we had submitted some information to you all in your packet, so this is just the first reading. It is an ordinance, so there would be because it's a zoning